I'll make you a deal. I'll trade you a more raw, less edited episode 27 of Daily Nourishment for a super high quality edited video tomorrow. You'd rather have two high quality edited videos? Well, good thing I'm making the decision, so it doesn't matter what you say. Episode 27, Daily Nourishment. Sorry for the 1 day hiatus doing something else. Didn't know I'd get so much hate for it, but guess it's just the world we live in now. Today's topic, we're going to talk about salt and how it's different from any other seasoning. This idea is spurred on because I saw a TikTok where it was talking about white people don't know how to season. And it was from a black woman talking about how they season chicken, they're using a whole lot of spices. As the Colonel does, he's using 13 different herbs and spices, which is a whole lot. They're using thyme, they're using cayenne, they're using cumin, they're using all sorts of stuff in those spices. But I think they're missing the point. When people season with salt and pepper, we need to think about what the whole dish is going to be. Now, I came up with a great analogy for this. When you eat Southern soul food, so I'm talking fried chicken, collard greens, mashed potatoes, what do they all have in common? They are very well seasoned. What I mean by this is if you have that chicken, you'll take a bite and you'll fully get a great experience within there. It'll be nice and salty. It'll have nice acidity from the brine. It'll be fully wrapped up in itself. Then you take a bite out of your collard greens. Again, they're really well salted. They got that nice smoky flavor. They got some of that little bit of a chew left from the greens cooking out so long. And then maybe you have your baked mac and cheese. It's going to have that nice crunchy crust. It's going to have that great salt flavor. Do you notice what's in common across all of these? It's good salting. Salt is one commonality in all of these. And I like to think of it as it's three separate orbs. They're three separate, fully constructed things you could fully have on their own, and you're having them together. However, let's move on to a different type of cooking. Let's move on to French cooking, for example. Let's say you're having a dish like you may be having some roast chicken with some vegetables with some mashed potatoes. In this case, the meat is going to be disproportionately salty to the other ingredients. Then the carrots are going to be maybe undersalted a little bit, in contrast to the meat. And the potatoes, they're going to be normally salted. Now, the way that this works is that the seasoning for the chicken is not coming from the spices. You're not adding any cayenne. You're not adding anything real. You're adding pepper because the carrots and the potatoes can't add that. But when you have that bite of chicken and you have it with a carrot, that carrot is providing the sweetness. It can provide some bitterness if it's roasted. The potatoes are providing the creaminess. The salt is mainly used as an enhancer for the other flavors. Now, you can see this in a lot of other types of cooking as well, where you'll see a whole lot of varieties of spices are used, and it's because they often are whole encompassing dishes. This is why French food is seen as a really finicky and a really hard food to master, because it's not throwing bold flavors in your face. It's more nuanced and it's more subtle, which means that it's easier to mess up. If you're telling me you want a spicy chai curry and the main thing you got to add is a bunch of chilies, how are you going to mess that up? But if you want to have a dish that has a lot of nuance to it, it's going to take more than just throwing a bunch of spices at it. Now, don't take this as meaning there's no complexity to Thai food or to soul food. There obviously is. I just want to highlight that complexity that there is to French food and to other types of food that I often find is kind of overlooked by people who aren't looking or maybe haven't grown up with this type of food because it's harder to appreciate these nuances if you haven't been doing it for a long time. Me, who I am European and have spent a good amount of time eating European food, I'm able to appreciate having these different components meld together into one beautiful concoction. But for people who've never had it before and are used to these super highly seasoned foods, it might be a hard adjustment to make. And that's maybe the reason why they're making these statements. That's a video for today, and I'll see you tomorrow for that highly edited video I promised.